Hey, what's going on? Carlo here again. Hope you're doing well. So in this video, I am going to, first thing I'm going to do is straighten out the video because it looks like it's a little crooked. But anyway, that's all right. So, okay, in this video, three ways to buy a home with no money down. So I would say that as a mortgage lender, I get a lot of the same questions over and over again. And one of those questions is, how do I buy a house with no money down? Is it even possible? I hear about it. And the answer is yes, of course it is. It's absolutely possible to buy a home with no money down. So in this video, we're gonna go over three different ways. There's more than three different ways to do it, but I'm gonna go over the easiest ways that you can buy a home, no money down. And one of them, I am sure, is going to be relevant to you. So the first two, you might be like, well, that may or may not work for you, and that's cool. But the third one is definitely going to make sense, and it's something that you can do as long as you're working with somebody who knows what they're doing. So, number way. That's a new word. Number one way that you can buy a home with no money down is if you're a veteran. So the VA offers 100% financing, no money down. You can get into the home, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm not a veteran, and that's okay. I got you covered. But I do want to talk about that. And first and foremost, if you are a veteran and you're watching this, I thank you so much sincerely for your service. I work with a lot of veterans, and I'm honored to work with veterans. So you can buy a home, no money down, if you're a veteran. So the other thing that you can look into if you're a veteran is that there are funding fees when it comes to being a veteran, and you might be exempt or not exempt. And what that is rather than having mortgage insurance, which means that you're putting less than 20% down, the VA doesn't work that way. They offer funding fees that are calculated and rolled into the loan for you, and that's what they use instead of mortgage insurance. However, some veterans are exempt from that fee. So if you're a veteran and you're thinking about buying a home and you'd like to know if you're exempt, let me know. You can reach out to my team. I'll put the link to get a hold of me below this video. So number one way is if you're a veteran, you can do 100% financing and you don't need a down payment. The other way that you can buy a home, number two, is if you buy in certain areas. So USDA offers where you can buy homes in certain parts of the country, in certain areas, certain parts of your state, where you can do 100% financing. Now, there are some restrictions as far as income, and you have to meet debt to income requirements. But I just helped another family do 100% financing. They purchased in a USDA zone. So a lot of times, if you're looking at a particular listing, it's very possible that it'll be listed on there that home is in a USDA area. The other thing too is you could talk to an agent and you could say, hey, listen, I want you to send me listings that are only USDA or that they're in that zone. And if that particular listing it has it on there and they've done their research, then you're going to be looking at those particular properties. So that's another option. And like I said, we help people with USDA loans all the time. The third one is something that's going to apply to all of you, because you might be thinking, well, that's great for veterans that they can get 100% financing. I'm not a veteran, so I can't do that. Or, hey, look, I'm looking to buy, in the city, or I'm looking to buy in a spot that I know is not USDA. So that's not going to help me. So Carlo, what do you got for me? So the third thing is the one that I use most often, and that is getting a grant. So in the state of Maryland, where I am, we can help you get basically the 100% of the down payment for you. You can get a house, you can buy a house 100% financing with no down payment, which is absolutely amazing. And here's the thing. There's a lot of grant programs out there. However, the grant programs that we have access to, you do not need to pay back. They don't come with any restrictions. Some grants end up being a second lien on the property, which is fine, but it's not ideal. The ones that we do not. And then the other thing is that some grants, they have restrictions where you have to be in the home for a certain amount of time. It could be anywhere between 3 to 5 years. And if you refinance or move before the 3 to 5 years is up, you have to pay it back. So that is the third way that you can qualify to buy a home with no money down. And here's something to consider as well. Is the grants that we do, you don't even need to be a first-time home buyer. Yes, you can have already owned a home. The only thing is, in order to use the grant, it has to be for a primary residence. It cannot be for an investment property or second home or things like that. It has to be for primary residence. However, you do not need to be a first-time home buyer, which is super exciting. So if you are thinking about buying a home, consider first, if you're a veteran, that's definitely the way I would suggest going. Maybe you're looking at an area where it would qualify for USDA, and if you're not, then you can get a grant. And if you're in the state of Maryland, or if you're in Pennsylvania and in Florida, those are the main states that I work in. But really, any state, anywhere in the country, usually has grant programs. Here's the thing with them, though. This is something that you really, really want to make sure of, is contact the lenders that have experience doing the grants. Because here's the thing, some lenders don't even bother doing them because they don't know how to, and they just don't have the time to do them. Some of them don't do them right, and some of them don't have access to the right grant money. So if you're considering and you want to look into a grant, I'm going to put a link in the description down here. Reach out to me, even if it's in a state where I can't help you. I have an amazing network of lenders all over the country. I can put you in contact with people that know what they're doing and how to do it and get it done for you. We just helped 3 more families last week here in Maryland close on grants where we gave them free grant money. They got into their homes, no money down in this market. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, whether it's going to be within a couple minutes, a couple of days of when I post it, or whether it's a year later. But this market right now, at the time that I'm recording this, is on fire in a good way. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask in a good way, but it's a seller's market right now. I'll just leave it at that, right? Where there's multiple offer situations. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because even in this market, the grant is working. The other thing too, that's amazing about using a grant, the way that we use it here and the way that my team and I help our clients, is let's say maybe you might think to yourself, well, maybe I have a down payment. I just can't cover closing costs, and I'm asking for seller help because that's the only way I can get into a home, and I just keep getting outbid, and I'm putting in offer after offer, and it's not working. Well, get this. You can use the grant to cover closing costs. So let's say you have the down payment, but you don't have the closing costs. You can use the grant to cover closing costs. So it can help you with one or the other. So I had a client the other day, and she came, she reached out to me. She was working with another lender. She's like, hey, listen, I'm trying to get, offer after offer. I keep getting outbid. I'm like, well, what's going on? She goes, well, we keep asking for seller help. I'm like, well, that's really tough to get in this market. I said, why don't we see if we can qualify you for a grant where you can go and put your offer in and you don't have to ask for any seller help. Well, get this. After months of having every single offer of hers not accepted, her very first offer after I started working with her was accepted because it was structured a little differently. So if you're looking to buy a house and maybe you're already working with a lender, hey, that's cool. Maybe you want a second opinion. Maybe you just want to make sure that what you're doing and the way that they've structured it is the best way for you to do it. Reach out to me. I'm happy to help you any way that I can. If you have friends, family, coworkers who might benefit from this video, please share it with them. I'd love the opportunity to help them and to see what we can do. I'll put my link at the bottom of the video. Bye for now. Thank you as always. Please consider, if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider to subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. See you. Bye.